Chester Hill, Campbelltown and Southern Sydney. Let's now have a look at the team sheets this afternoon, starting with the Wolves of Windsor. At fullback it's Barlow. On the wings it's King and Chia. The centres are Penatani and Stewart. The halves Harden and Trindle. In the front row it's Niamata the skipper and Weepu. The hooker, the very talented Ryan Russell. The back row Homono, Hopkins and Tremont. On the bench is Nightingale, Mumu, Wrigley and Chan. And the Wolves coached by Trent Rosa for the second season in succession. And now the home team, the mighty Mounties. At fullback it's Lai. On one wing is Dalton. On the other is El Zubaydah. The centres are Lett and Dargan. The halves combination Mostyn and Dalton. In the front row it's Weir and Saab. Farah is the hooker. The back row Coveney, McConnell and Champion. On the bench it's Ainu, Loader, Kafauna and Pacelio. And of course Mounties coached by Steve Goshen. Stick around, should be a beauty. Later on today's program too, I might add, highlights of the New South Wales Cup clash between Balmain Ride and Newtown. That all comes your way. Right now it's a very good afternoon to Ian Trent.
Good afternoon, David, and good afternoon, everyone. A great day here at Mounties. Not too hot, not too cold, and not a breath of wind to affect either side for the top of the table clash between Windsor and Mounties. And the home side captain today is Drew Dalton. And Drew, good afternoon to you.
Yeah, good morning, afternoon to you.
Yeah. Mate, playing against your old club side for the first time, it's going to be a little strange.
Yeah, no, it's good. You know, still good mates with a lot of the blokes out there, so it'll be good to get out there and have a go against them. But you know, no love lost when you're on a football field. So we'll just do the best for Mounties today.
And it's been a good move for you because you're right on top of the tree.
Yeah, I was in a similar position with Windsor last year, but this year we're top of the tree, good blokes, and we're enjoying our footy at the moment. That's all that counts, really.
Fantastic. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Lee, everything travelling very well at Windsor, top of the table.
Yeah, things are going okay at the moment. We've still got a lot of improvement to do, and it's going to be a tough one today. So.
Absolutely. And a visit to Mounties is always a tough one.
Yeah, it is. I used to train here many years ago with some of the para boys, so it's a difficult ground. It's an odd-shaped ground, so it'll be something to get used to.
Yeah, it's very open, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's not what you normally see from a rugby league field, but it's that's the way it's played.
Okay, well done on the season so far. Good luck.
Thanks.
Not a bad crowd building at Mounties Sporting Complex for this Jim Beam Cup clash, and the home side taking the field now. Gavin West will be the referee. Been a great start to 2008 for both teams as you watch the Wolves of Windsor enter the playing arena. Now, in last week's clashes, Mounties 28 defeated Southern Sydney 20, and Windsor big winners over the Sydney Bulls 44-18. And Peter Mullholhand, it augurs well for a good contest today.
Yes, David, and good afternoon, everybody. I'm looking forward to this match this afternoon, especially to see how Steve Goshen, the former coach of Windsor, with a couple of former players in Drew Dalton, Anthony Dalton and Chandrith Lai, take on this Windsor side. Top of the table clash. Who could ask for more on this beautiful afternoon?
Weepu got the first touch, played it back to Russell. They go wide very early in the tackle count. The Wolves over towards this western side of the ground. James Nightingale tackled by Dalton and Dargan. And this is the right winger for the Windsor side, Daniel King. Now from Russell, very good player Ryan Russell. Watch for him to come into his own later in the game. The Windsor number 9 now through the hands to Ben Stewart. They race down the eastern touchline. That is Danny Chiha, the left winger. So early in the contest, the Wolves find themselves with an outstanding attacking opportunity. Weepu, his second touch of the match, very strong. Traditionally plays with the socks rolled down around the ankles. They go the short side from Russell, Trindle. Oh, this is Stewart, a try early in the game. The Wolves crashing over in the corner. Referee confirming the try.
What a great start to the Windsor Wolves, and they showed what they're going to do today, swinging this ball around from the kickoff. Again here, Craig Trindle, the maestro, the little man, has picked the short side. Selective pass there to Ben Stewart, hit the great hole there. Ben Stewart, a good hole runner. Again, Windsor very, very, very fluent in this first opening, 30 seconds, Dave, minute and a half.
That is an attacking raid. Very early on. Now Trindle from wide out has struck it beautifully. It's on its way, and he gets the 2. 6-0.
Stay on, boys, stay on.
So Mounties a little shell-shocked. Trailing 6-0 after a couple of minutes of play. Windsor declaring their hand early as Weepu comes back. He's driven to ground by McConnell, who will be one of the Mounties' best this afternoon, the workaholic back rower. And another chance here as Tremont almost busts them in what was his first touch of the game from Russell. And working back on the inside is James Nightingale, who ended up starting the game in jumper number 14 after originally being named on the bench.
Yeah, good player, Jimmy Nightingale, Penrith reserve grade. He played for Papua New Guinea this year and last year. He's certainly a young player that I know the Penrith club are working through with getting some experience in this Jim Beam Cup.
Now the clearing kick, it'll provide Chanareth Lai, the Mounties fullback, with his first touch. Now this bloke is elusive. If you've not seen him play before, he will produce some razzle-dazzle when given the opportunity. Elizabeth Dyer now, the winger for Mounties, and the home side getting the first penalty of the game. Marker's not square.
Yep.
Matt McConnell, tackled by his opposite number, Lee Hopkins. Hopkins, in his early 30s, been around the game for a long time, hasn't he, Pete?
Great player, Lee. A lot of first grade in Lee from Penrith, a local junior at Windsor. Made his debut at Penrith nearly 9-10 years ago, and then went to the UK and had 3 or 4 great seasons in the UK.
We just saw a shot of the coaching brains trust from Mounties on the sideline. Steve Goshen and Eddie Flay beside him as Mounties come wide to the open side through Blake Champion, who I believe is a cousin of Bo Champion, of course playing left centre at Souths. Now open side. A great chance for Mounties through Peter Lett. That was a good tackle on the far side. I think it was Trindle around the ankles. Now Drew Dalton. A high kick to the northwestern corner. Good contest, and this will be a try to Mounties. Coming up with possession was Dargan, and planting it down for the try, so Mounties responding quickly. 6-4 kick to come.
Have a look at this Yellow Express replay again. The two halfbacks, how dominant are they going to be today? Drew Dalton now with a pinpoint kick here to his brother Anthony, who taps it back. You can watch the chase. He's a very, very good chase, not giving anybody an opportunity. Anthony Dalton, quite a tall winger himself, rangy. Ball there, tap back, and at the end of the day, both sevens are going to have a very, very big impact on this match this afternoon. Both goal kickers as well.
As you look at Dalton's attempted conversion, I alluded to Eddie Flay sitting beside Goshen on the bench. He's now the assistant coach at Mounties. Was involved at Cabramatta for many years and did a great job. And talking of a great job, Dalton comes up with a big play. Terrific kick from the sideline. We're all tied up.
Stay on.
Russell gets us underway. See, that kick stayed up in the air, had some hang time on it. So Mounties will do the hard work now. 30 out from their own line as McConnell plays it. Crowd has built up.
Go.
Respectable numbers. Somewhat of a tradition here at Mounties. People go to the club for lunch and then stroll out just before kick-off time. There's Hamono and Wrigley sitting on the bench waiting to be thrust into the action.
That's interesting, isn't it? Hamono and Wrigley on the bench, two of his most experienced and probably two of his best forwards. So obviously Trent Rose is looking to get some impact off the bench later in this match.
Now, will Dalton kick? They go through the hands and swing it to the open side. And they'll play it 5 on Windsor Wolves side of halfway now. From Lai back to Drew Dalton. He kicks down towards that northwestern corner. Plucked out of the sky on the full by Chris Barlow. Good player for the Wolves, this fellow. Tall and rangy. He's at home on the wing, as he is at fullback. Now Danny Chia. Russell away to Wipu. And hard and straight he runs. That's a great charge. Takes 3 or 4 of them with him. It was Matt McConnell that tackled him right on the halfway line. Russell again, they launched their attack down the short side from Stewart. Up to Daniel King. Back to the other side of the field. It's side-to-side stuff from Windsor. James Nightingale tackled by Drew Dalton, and the hooker, Anthony Farrer for Mounties. Chance for Windsor again, and Trindle, kick over the top, the chase of beauty. Unfortunately, Daniel King could only just get his fingernails on it. Had no chance of controlling the ball.
It's a great little kick again from Tricky, and Daniel King, a very, very good winger. And as you talk about Barlow, Daniel King's equally as comfortable at home at fullback and has played plenty of reserve grade for the Penrith side.
Because Damien Mostert, a player to watch for Mounties. A bit of NRL experience, was on the wing playing for the Rabbitohs when they were reinstated to the competition. And now at Mounties in Jim Beam Cup action.
Go.
Blake Champion at acting half fires the ball away to Chris Saab in 16, who in turn found Ben Weir. Goes on an arcing-like run across the field, tackled right on the halfway stripe, as you can see, by Wipu. Are we looking at a grand final preview today?
I think so. Look, honestly, these are the two best sides so far in the competition, and I think the depth that they've got, the fact that both clubs are very, very well coached, I think they've put them in good stead to make the grand final.
Dalton wants it. He got it off Farah. Across they come. Oh, almost some confusion there. Hitting the ball at pace now, Dargan. He got the pass to Lai on the inside. He's very elusive. He came to the winger, Chiha, and the fullback, Barlow. And they stop his progress 9 metres out, but a great chance for Mounties. Oh, confusion again. Chris Saab got in the way, I think you'll find. And now it's play on. Mostyn comes back and cleans up the dregs for Mounties. And he'll be tackled 19 out. At acting half is Peter Lett. What can they ignite now, Mounties? Their promising movement broke down with some miscommunication. Russell now tackles Peter Lett. To his feet he gets. Now Farah away to Weir. He comes steaming onto the football. Great defence by Windsor. They drive him back. Lee Hopkins leading the way there. Mostyn. Here's Drew Dalton. Does he go for the kick? No, it's onto the chest of the lock. Blake Champion, and he scores. Blake Champion reaches out. And the second try
14, 10 metres, mate.
of Mount Pritchard's afternoon, scored by their lock forward.
On the Yellow Express replay again, the importance of the halves. Mostyn, second receiver this time was Drew Dalton, straight away onto the lock for Blake Champion. Victor Penatani's going to be very disappointed with himself there on that defence. Never usually mistakes in defence from Victor, but on that occasion he let Champion through for a very, very well-deserved try.
I'd like to thank Yellow Express Couriers for their support of the New South Wales Rugby League program. Another magnificent kick from Dalton. He's got the radar working this afternoon. And if you're looking for a start in business, become a CSO with Yellow Express. Go to www.yellowexpress.com.au and get a job. And a big thanks to Justin Lewis, the principal of Yellow Express, for their involvement in the program. Here's Chia at acting half. Now the lock forward, Ryan Tremont. He's one of Windsor's best players last year.
16.
Ryan Russell goes on his own. A darting run. Probably ran 7 metres before being felled by Cavoni. Now 21 is Wiramu Wipu, who had a strong start to the game. And Wipu will play at 9 outs. Russell, across they come from Harden. Hitting the hole is Hopkins. And it's tit for tat here today. Mounties score and then Windsor respond. It's happened twice.
You're right, David. You can see the importance of halves on this Yellow Express replay. Ben Harden here this time. They're the 5'8", coming back across to the short side. Lee Hopkins, an absolutely superb line that he runs into a gaping hole, though. And tit for tat, as you said.
Lai had no chance of stopping the rampaging Wolves back rower. Now Trindle will attempt to get another, and he struck it beautifully. Pokes it straight between the sticks, 12 all. It's a fine kicking so far today. Enjoying the sunshine in Sydney's southwest this afternoon is our sideline eye, Ian Trent. What have you got for us, mate?
Well, boys, this is the battle between one of the top attacking sides in the Jim Beam Cup. I refer, of course, to Windsor. The Wolves are the second top offensive unit behind the Sydney Bulls. And, of course, Mounties, they have the top-rated defence, so it's an intriguing struggle. Windsor has the second top points differential as well, with Mounties third. So statistics, they do not lie. This is a top contest between, as you can see, two very good sides.
Yeah, exactly right down there, Trenty. It's statistics often can lie, but this game here is a high standard, as you'd want to see in any level of rugby league.
Speaking of Lai, that's Channereth with the ball now. Channereth Lai tackled 5 into Mounties' side of halfway. Here they come again. Mount Pritchard, Loader now onto the field in jumper number 18. Just trying to remember which club he played for previously. We've had him on the show before. It may have been Belrose a couple of seasons ago. He's very hard to tackle. Here's Dean Loader. And we see a mistake there. Farah
On the ground, last tackle, handover.
losing possession. You heard the referee. So Windsor will play the football. With Lee Hopkins, with Barlow at acting half, and the big long striding one will go for a gallop. Unfortunately, he was tackled quickly.
Ball play, mate. Pick the ball up.
You don't like to see errors like that. A poor play of the football, bringing a penalty. So Mounties
2 points.
That's very interesting too. They're going for the 2 points here, Dave. I think that's a testament to the Windsor defensive line, and this is how close this game's going to be. These 2 points could determine the outcome at the end of the day.
So Dalton from almost in front, struck it nicely. Great day with the boot for the Windsor, or rather the Mounties captain. Well, he was a Windsor captain last year. So here's Dalton again, trying to kickstart his back line. Lai again gets himself involved. Defence pretty good, however. And he'll be asked to play it in the centre of the ground. Mounties deep on the attack now with Demetrius Ainu. He did have Loader lurking on his left, but chose to take the tackle. From Farah across to Dalton. Here hitting the ball is Cavoni off an inside pass from Drew Dalton. And Mounties with decent field position. They lead by 14 points to 12. Another chance here. Oh, Lett drops the ball. Here's Ian on the sideline with another cross.
Well, David, you expect top-of-the-table clashes to be fairly intensive affairs. Well, this one is certainly that. Even though we've seen plenty of tries in the opening stanza, the defence from both sides has been crunching. And at ground level, it's the most on-field talk we've heard this season. Both these top sides are definitely attempting to make a statement. On the injury front, Mounties centre Wayne Dargan has an ankle problem. The Mounties medical staff are hoping he'll be back, but at this stage, he looks a bit proppy.
I'll tell you what, Dave, when you got the halfbacks that are out there in the field, Drew Dalton, and here we go now with Trindle, this is the man we're talking about. There's going to be plenty of talk out there, isn't he? Drew Dalton and Trindle.
Oh, Trindle did well then, had Moo in support who couldn't handle it. So with 11 remaining on the clock in this first half, Mounties get the reprieve on that occasion. Trindle cut them to ribbons. Very lazy around marker defence. The Windsor Wolves. A back view of the play the ball. 14-12. It has been a seesawing battle as they come to the open side now. Mount Pritchard, just their second year in the Jim Beam Cup competition. This is Anthony Dalton down the western touchline. Good kick back into towards the middle for Dean Loader. But Barlow got back there and saved the day. And we got some aggro.
Big fullback having a go there at Dean Loader.
So Loader pulls his arms out of the way as Anthony Dalton lunges toward the try line. Mounties winning the scrum with the loosened feet and back with a magnificent attacking opportunity to perhaps extend the lead. Demetrius Anu now to get up and play it. Open they swing it to Mostyn. Casually, nonchalantly, finds a man running back on an angle. Nothing nonchalant about it now. It's all fallen to pieces as Drew Dalton goes back and cleans it up, dummying, comes to the line, dummies again, succumbs to the tackle by Ben Harden. Now Farah through the hands from champion Mostyn. A long looping pass. Elbazadaya, he got it back on the inside, and it's Windsor coming up with it through the lock forward, Ryan Tremont. Scrappy passage of play, Pete.
Scrappy passage of play, but very good defence on their own line from Windsor. Then each man working for each other on the inside, and indeed the pressure was put back onto the Mounties attack.
Yeah, Mounties really not capitalising on the chance they had there. Ryan Russell out of dummy half, as he'll do so often as the big men start to tire on the opposite side.
He's a good player, Ryan Russell. He just gives you that little bit of extra every time he goes into dummy half.
Very much so. From Chia, talking of good players, here's Jason Wrigley now onto the field for the Wolves. He was co-captain of this club last year along with Drew Dalton. And there's a kick out on the full. Play restarts, 8 remaining in this half. Matthew McConnell is tackled. Ben Stewart doing the damage. A 38 out from Windsor's line. Across the field they come. This is Loader. Driving tackle by the 19, Ben Harden. Dalton. Away to Demetrius Anu. Harden straight. He breaks them wide open. Anu, he's got support looming. It's Lai the fullback, and that's so easy. Try time.
Have a look on this Yellow Express replay for the strength of this Demetrius Anu. Absolutely superb run here. Takes the ball at 100 miles an hour. Never an issue here. Took it nice and flat. Straight through here. Uses a bump there. Just that little bump took the man. I'm not quite sure who that was. The number 11, I believe it was, in
Hamono.
Chanel Hamono. Great support. You're never going to be able to catch Chandler's lie on that one, but that was an absolutely superb run there by the number 14, Demetrius Ainu.
He did well. He was aided by a couple of turnstile-like attempted tackles, so to be fair.
I think the way he went into it, though, Dave, he's lifted the knee. He's made himself a very small package to go through there. And I think Chanel Hamono was just bumped off with a very, very strong run.
The Trindle gets us underway. Look at the hang time on that kick. Again, it sails down to the waiting arms of Dalton. And Mounties in possession, about 5 in from the western touchline, leading by 8 points now. Dean Loader goes for a run. He makes a contribution, this man. He'll do that umpteen times throughout the game and give the forwards a rest in the centre of the park. Mounties through Farah. One pass away as champion, then to Mostyn. And this is Matt McConnell, the back rower, playing on the right-hand side of the field. Steve Goshen you just saw. A name that's been synonymous with rugby league in Sydney for decades.
It is from West, and a very, very successful coach in his own right, Steve Goshen.
In Jim Beam Cup, he's been at a number of clubs, Sydney Bulls, Windsor, and now Mounties, when they decided to get involved in Jim Beam Cup in 2007. They went in search of an experienced man to lead them into action, and they certainly found that man with Steve Goshen. Daniel King on the run around with Harden. Winger gets it back.
Geez, they're on the front foot now, Mounties, in this defensive line. Look at the speed of their defensive line down this end of the park. Very enthusiastic.
A spring in their step. Here's Hamono. Always resembles a runaway locomotive the way he plays the game. Only knows one way. Here's Wrigley. Off the tap restart. Tackled by McConnell. So what can Windsor do about the score line? It's just starting to creep away from them a bit. Can they get a 4-pointer before the break? Across they come this time to Victor Penatani, who's not seen any football at all. There was a chance that went begging. Chia couldn't get a clean catch on it.
Just on the Yellow Express replay. Very strong player, Vic Penatani. Just unfortunate here. He's picked the gap between the two with Loader. Slips the ball out the back, and look, it was difficult for anybody to catch, and just unlucky there for Chia not to be able to pick it up. I think the score was really indicative of the field position that the Mounties have had in this game. It'll be interesting to see here Windsor if they can put pressure on for this last 3 or 4 minutes down this end of the park.
It was interesting with Penatani there. He elected to sort of step off his right foot and run back towards the two defenders. There was space on the outside.
Probably could have caught and passed and drew that man.
Exactly.
You're right.
One of those things. So just prior to the break, 20 points to 12 now. Mounties in this round 9 Jim Beam Cup clash. If you've just joined our New South Wales Rugby League program this week, we will bring you some highlights of the New South Wales Cup clash between Balmain Ride and Newtown later on today's program. Here's Loader making a nuisance of himself, as he so often does for defensive teams. He's hard to tackle. Damien Mostyn loping upfield. Gained about 8 metres. I think he wanted to pass, but there was really no one there. Has this been a head clash?
It was in that tackle, 2 players in there, and if we can have a look at on this Yellow Express replay now, Mostyn, a long loping runner too. Damien Mostyn had a lot of experience for the NRL. You just see this men now, 2 players over the top there, the 2 Windsor players, clash of heads, and both still on the ground.
And if you're looking for a start in business, become a CSO with Yellow Express. Go to www.yellowexpress.com.au. So Dalton, he's had a superb day with the boot, has struck them beautifully, and has done so again from a long way out. That's a beautiful kick. 22-12, just a minute out from the break. Absolutely perfect conditions here for rugby league, no breeze at all. Only 18, 19 degrees. Player comfort good. Mounties are just starting to grab this game by the scruff of the neck, aren't they?
You're exactly right, Dave. If Windsor are not next to score, they're going to find it very, very difficult to beat this side. You can see now just little things that, here we go now with another one of those little offloads that just creates a little bit of havoc with that defensive line.
It was from Weir, that offload, and now Damien Mostyn finds some space to work, and he's got the winger, Elzabadiah. He's going to get there and score 4 points right before the break. Try time for Mounties. Beautiful offload by the front row, Ben Weir, and the rest you saw.
Just as we were saying now, Windsor really needed to shore things up before half-time. We're talking 30 or 40 seconds. We're 60 or 80 metres from their own line. Little offload here from Weir. Good support there from the number 9, Anthony Farrell, just to clear the focal point. Damien Mostyn then does what Damien Mostyn does best, finds a gap. Jason Wrigley heading towards the sideline, had no hope there of returning to take Mostyn on. Mostyn had all the time under the sun now to draw the fullback, and Chris Barlow unload. I thought he perhaps unloaded a little bit early, but who cares? The try scored on the wing, and they're in a little bit of trouble, I think, the Wolves.
It did look as though he threw the final pass a tad prematurely, but Elzabadiah had sufficient pace to get around Chris Barlow anyway. Drew Dalton, 5 from 5 thus far. This is a bit tougher, and he misses for the first time today. 26 points to 12 at half-time here at Mounties Sporting Complex. We'll recap the score sheet for you. 26 for Mounties by virtue of tries to Dargan, Champion, Lai, Elzabadiah. Dalton 5 from 6 for the Wolves. Tries to Stewart and Hopkins. Trindle 2 from 2. Great to have your company on the New South Wales Rugby League program. A break and back with more in just a moment. Welcome back to the New South Wales Rugby League show at half-time. It's Mounties 26 leading Windsor 12, and this is how it happened in the first half.
Yeah, feast of tries there. They were going tit for tat, as you were saying there before, David, just on the call. And again, the side that was to be able to put consecutive tries together, I think was going to get a little bit of a break on this. And this was Mounties now, again, through the lock forward Blake Champion. Again, the halves, the dominance of the halves has been the big thing in this match. You know, Trindle and Ben Harden for the Windsor side, Drew Dalton and Mostyn for the Mounties side. A little bit of poor defence. I think that player just sat in the chair, then didn't come forward on the line. Chanel Omono, unfortunate mistake on that one to allow Chenra fly in. This is the try right on half-time that could absolutely break the back of the Windsor Wolves. A little bit of slack defence there, as I said, from Jay Wrigley facing the sideline. Mostyn through the line. We thought that he may have passed prematurely, but again, the winger Zabadiah had enough pace to score that try. Sets it up for a very, very important second half from Windsor. Depends how they start now.
If you've just joined our coverage, Windsor Wolves in the predominantly yellow strip to run right to left on your screen in this second half. And waiting for the referee to signal time on. And Gavin West does that now. And Windsor has it all to do in this second half, as that scoreline, bottom right-hand corner, would indicate. Justin Cavoni, first touch of the second half for the Mount Pritchard side, who really started to forge clear in the latter stages of that first half, off the back of plenty of possession and obviously good field position. And at this stage, we'll take you downstairs where Ian Trent has a special guest with him.
Trent, 26-12 down. You can't be happy with that.
Oh, no, mate, no, definitely not. Mainly with enthusiasm and our efforts. That's what's really let us down. We've spoken about that then at half-time. We just got to pick up in that area. I think we'll be right.
Okay, you did mention the word venom or lack of in your team talk.
Yeah, definitely. With our offence, our carries, we're sort of walking up with the defence line, hoping that they'll just part ways for us, which isn't going to happen. They're a quality side. We've got to run with purpose, yeah.
Well, let's hope you can do it. Good luck.
Thanks very much, Trenny. Cheers.
That's funny, you know, and that's the man that I think has taken the venom away from Windsor. As soon as they took Wiramu Weepu off, who was making great yards, hitting the ball with a lot of gusto into that in that defensive line, I think that's where Windsor's lost their way a little bit.
That's a fair comment. They have lacked purposeful running. But you can only play as well as the opposition lets you to, and Mounties had plenty of football. Second part of that first half. Here's Ryan Russell. Very good player. He busts them wide open. He's got support too. And Windsor launching an attacking raid. Unfortunately, there was no one there to pass to. In the end, a mistake made in the play the ball.
And you can't be happy with that. Trent Roser will be pulling his hair out on that one.
So loosened feed to Windsor. Oh, there's a mistake. Goodness. Peter Lett couldn't grasp the ball from the pass of Drew Dalton. So an amazing game, rugby league. All of a sudden, we have Windsor right back on the attack. Daniel King was well tackled there by his opposite, Ilza. What can Windsor do with it this time? Across they come from Hopkins. In jumper 20 is Jason Chan. Big and strong. Tackled 1 metre out. What have they got for Mounties? Trendle. A short ball to Chanel Hamono. To his feet. Russell. Away to Moo in 15. One of the bigger Windsor Wolves forwards. You can see how close he is with that back camera angle. Across to the open again. Trendle, little kick in behind them, but Lyers there. It will restart with a goal line dropout, however. Not a bad result.
It's a good result. It's just what the doctor ordered. Windsor now can control the game a little bit, take their time and play it down this end of the park. Control the football.
Moo winding it up. Gets the big legs pumping. Tackled well by Farah. Here's Wrigley. The experienced man. He carries the ball towards the goalposts. The 20, Jason Chan. They converge on him quickly. 3 defenders, including Matt McConnell. Russell, worth watching out of acting half, has a go on his own. Yes, try. Rolled over the top of the tacklers, including Blake Champion, and plants it down.
That is one of the most unusual tries. He kept in motion. I think on this Yellow Express replay, you can see it very, very clearly here. Great camera action. Has gone over the top, has kept the one motion in movement. And that's an excellent try to Ryan Russell. Just what the doctor ordered for this stage of the game for the Windsor Wolves.
Well, if he can kick this, the scoreline's going to look better. And stabs at it over the black dot. Here's Ian Trent on the sideline with the Mounties assistant coach.
Well, Ed, a terrific first half from your boys.
Yeah, great start, mate. We knew they'd come out. It was the top of the table clash. We just had to get off our line and put a bit of pressure on the defence.
And you certainly did. The talk was great out there as well.
Yeah, mate, the boys, there's a good mateship in the team, you know, and the desires there in defence. We're gonna be hard to beat.
Okay, all the best for the second half.
Thanks, mate. Ta.
I think Eddie Flay's come out of the Len Stacker and Steve Goshen School of Interviews. Tappy, there wasn't much given away then by the Silver Fox.
As we watch Mounties attack the Windsor line, Cavoni plays it across to Dalton. Now Mostyn. What's he do? A pass out in front of Peter Lett. He couldn't handle it. Elzabadiah, fortuitously for Mounties, was there to swoop on it. They have good field position again. Can they inflict more hurt into the Windsor world as they come across this time with Demetrius Ainu, who set up a magnificent try in the first half for Mounties. Champion. Dalton to the line himself, takes them on. Ball pops out the back. Champion went back and grabbed it. Now Mostyn, he kicks to the southwestern corner. Taken on the full by Elzabadiah. It went wrong from there. Windsor to intercept it, and this is Daniel King.
Very, very lucky to get away with. I thought Daniel King may well have knocked this on. You see on the Yellow Express replay here, great kick from Damien Mostyn across the face of the defensive line. Elzabadiah there has taken the ball very, very well. If that pass had have just taken there, I think that was a knock-on actually from the Windsor team. Very, very lucky the Wolves, but you'll take that chance when you get it.
Daniel King coming up with possession for Windsor. All right, let's go down to the sideline. Ian, what do you have for us?
Well, David, one of the reasons both these sides are on top at the moment is their respective strength and conditioning programs. The Windsor boys, they're using their marriage with Penrith to great advantage with 2 sessions a week with the senior club, and they're jumping out of their skins. Mounties, they've engaged a team led by Matt Taylor, who works at the parent club, and he has the Mount Pritchard boys in tip-top shape, as you can see.
Yeah, that's a very good point from Ian there about the marriage. Windsor Wolves have done a great job. Dick Pryor, Chris Carl and the Windsor Board of Directors to marry with the Panthers on this joint venture in Premier League. The Jim Beam Cup benefits from it too. A lot of reserve grade players or Premier League players, New South Wales Cup players these days, that are involved with the Windsor Jim Beam Cup side as well.
Ben Stewart away to Chanel Hamono. He's met by Blake Champion. Also coming across the top was Ben Weir. You heard the referee's adjudication on that occasion, so Windsor, off the back of the tap, get some decent field position to launch an attack. Trailing 26-18, Jason Wrigley. He runs toward the uprights in the centre of the ground. Russell, always worth watching. In that position, 19 is Ben Harden. He got it on the outside to Jason Chan, playing right centre. Chris Barlow. Now the lock forward, Tremont, well tackled by Chris Saab down low. Well, what does Windsor have? A chance for them now. They won't get a better one. This is Moo towards the line. Oh, he got the ball away to, I think it's Ryan Russell. And it is, in fact, Ryan Russell, and he has scored. That's a player chancing his arm.
Have a look at this on the Yellow Express replay. Again, Ben Harden, integral part of this, goes across to one side and brings up Moo back under against the grain. The whole lot of that Mounties defence was shifting towards the sideline. Moo did great here before he's hit the ground just to throw that ball back out, squeeze it out. Ryan Russell ever on the spot, Johnny on the spot to score what was a very, very important try for the Windsor side. They had to score consecutive tries here. I'm quite sure Trindle will put this one away.
And now we've got a completely different complexion over this game, with Mounties enjoying a 26 points to 12 lead at the break. Look at it now. Windsor have scored 12 points unanswered in the second stanza. Back they come, the joint competition leaders. From Russell, away to Tito Niamata, who this year is sporting hair. Last year he had the skinhead cut. Ryan Tremont is tackled. Windsor Wolves 12 out. Now it's Mounties under all sorts of pressure. You're going to have to dig deep. Trindle, Harden on the outside. A pass to Jason Chan. He's big and strong. And Chan grasped a metre out by Loader. They keep it alive through their winger.
That's great defence on the line. Dean Loader there to hold out Jason Chan. That previous tackle was excellent too.
Barlow to Harden at first receiver. Trindle at second receiver. He hoists it high in the sky. Ben Stewart's under it. It's a contest for possession. Stewart wrestling with one of the Mounties players. And the referee says play on. 6 more to Wiramu Weepu. Referee was late signalling the 6 more. Weepu wants to have a blue with McConnell. Just play it, son. Harden. Inside ball. This is Chanel Omono. Windsor are back. They're more than that. They're in front for the first time in the game.
Tremendous try. Again, Chanel Omono on the fringes of the ruck. Wiramu Weepu, don't care what you say. He's strong, he's tough. He takes 2 or 3 defenders every time. You can see on the Yellow Express replay here again. Trindle. Again, I see his partner in crime, Ben Harden. Great ball again under the grain, against the grain, but just sheer strength there from the number 11 to knock the number 14 in Demetrius Ainu out of the way. Tit for tat, that one. Tit for tat.
What do you mean you don't care what I say about Wiramu Weepu? I didn't bag him.
You're having a go about him having a fight. Wiramu's very good at that too.
Okay. I wasn't knocking his ability as a player. Here's Trindle. Straight between the posts. 30 points to 26. I incorrectly said when that try was scored, Windsor hit the front for the first time today. That was wrong. They did, in fact, score the first try of the day. Tappy had a Barry Crockett there. Briefly. This is great. This is an incredible turnaround from Windsor. I don't know what was said at half-time by Trent Rosa, but it's certainly working. Or perhaps what Steve Goshen said is not working. Who knows? Chris Saab to play it back to Farah. Mounties need to respond. Ben Weir. He's a robust player. He's tackled by Weepu. Still got the socks down, Wiramu. Must have an allergy to socks up around his knees. Not the first player in the game to do that, is he? They keep it alive. Damien Mostyn, some second phase to Drew Dalton. He was wrapped up by James Nightingale. Of course, Drew, the man to get up and play the football now, was an integral part of the Windsor Wolves side for a number of years. Great run by Farah. Pinned his ears back. Barlow was the last line of defence and he made it happen. Here's McConnell, got the pass away. It hits the deck. Try. Mount Pritchard, I think it's Dargan. It is the right centre. Dargan has come up with his second try of the game with his right ankle heavily strapped too.
How good was that on the pickup? Have a look at this on the Yellow Express replay here. Again, the halves integral on this. Drew Dalton selectively passing there to the number 12 in Matthew McConnell. Good ball away from McConnell to the number 16 and Chris Saab, and a great pickup by Wayne Dargan just to burrow through on the line, head in a trajectory that couldn't be stopped. Well done, 30 all. What's a draw here? What are we going to do with this goal kick?
Dalton's only missed one goal so far today. That one, coming back, but not quite enough. 30 all. Top of the table, Jim Beam Cup Clash, round 9. 11 remaining in the game. It's anybody's. Who wants it the most, Peter?
I think it's going to be a very, very interesting last 10, 11 minutes of this game. And again, I think it will be the halves that will call the shots in this. They'll determine it, I'm quite sure.
Ryan Russell and Wiramu Wipu, typical block-busting run. Takes 3 Mounties defenders to stop him. Here's Ryan Russell, always dangerous. Drew Dalton would have expected that. He stood his ground in defence. And the Windsor 9 will play it a metre out. Now Harden in jumper 19. He's dancing on the spot, came back towards the other side. This is James Nightingale. He keeps it alive, but unfortunately it comes back to Farah for the Mounties.
Unfortunate selection of pass there from James Nightingale, but again, make a mistake. Do it down this end of the park.
Good run by Lai. Darted out of acting half. Wipu was the man he ran head into, and it hurt Lai, that tackle. Here's McConnell. I called him a workaholic earlier in the game. I was not overstating it. He's been so busy for Mount Pritchard today. Goshen on the left, Flay on the right. Not happy. You can see why the mistake has been made. So Windsor have a chance. Under 10 minutes remaining. We're all tied up from Harden. Short pass to Jason Chan, who got away from Loader. He's very strong. Came to Drew Dalton, who wrestles him to ground with Anthony Dalton. Loader also coming again. They keep the pressure on. And Mounties defence good. Harden at first receiver, back on the inside. I think it's Niamata. And Tito gets up to play it. Harden again at first receiver. Tricky Trindle. Out wide to Lee Hopkins, who tries to keep it alive. Attempts to pull himself away from the defence, was not successful in doing so. Mostyn got him. Here's Trindle. Across they come, and a mistake. Is that play on? No, it's not.
Just needed to control and try and get a repeat set with, what have we got, 9 minutes left on the clock, 8 minutes left on the clock. I think they just needed to be a bit more patient then, set themselves up perhaps a little bit later on with field position for a field goal.
Another big thank you to Yellow Express Couriers for their support of the New South Wales Rugby League show. If you want to go from a job to business, become a CSO with Yellow Express, go to www.yellowexpress.com.au and click on Get a Job. Here's Loader. Oh no, he's left it behind. That's the only blemish on what has been a very good game for Dean Loader. Barlow, he's hard to tackle. You just saw that as he busts through the Wayne Dargan attempt. He'll play it. Well, we are at the business end of proceedings now. 30 all, 7.5 minutes remaining. Wipu tackled by 3 Mounties players. The 23 for Windsor is Ben Stewart, scored their first try of the day. Farah good in defence, as was Mostyn. Open side, Trindle. Ball onto the chest of Harden. Jason Chan tackled by Loader.
Tell you what, they've done a good job looking after Jason Chan. He's a handful in the forwards. He's playing in the centres today, which he actually likes playing out there. Done a great job, Dean Loader.
He's played a lot of centres, Chan. Spinning in the tackle is Stewart. He got it out the back to Trindle, who almost got away from Wayne Dargan. But Dargan coming again, slapped him around the chops, you'll find too. There's a long pass out of acting half. It was sloppy and Barlow can't handle. Basic fundamental of the game of rugby league.
The side that gets to the end of their set of 6 on consecutive occasions is going to be the side that'll win this match.
All right, Windsor playing hot potato. Let's go down to Trenty on the sideline.
Well, David, for such a physical game, we haven't seen that many injuries, but Windsor winger Danny Chihar, he has his ankle packed in ice and he certainly won't be back. Mountie centre Wayne Dargan is still proppy on that ankle, but he's got 2 tries to his name and has played pretty well. Win, lose or draw. Windsor co-captain Lee Hopkins' talk at half-time was an absolute beauty. He asked his Wolves teammates how tough they were, and they responded with the first 3 tries of the second half.
Yeah, you're right, Ian. They did respond, but anybody's game here now. The side that can control this ball for this last 5.5 minutes is going to be the side that'll come away with this match. I just think both sides have just really got to settle down into it.
Drew Dalton, meantime, puts the ball in the air and attempts to create an opportunity for Mounties. It was not to be, however. Danny Cheer coming up with it for the Windsor Wolves. Now this is Jason Chan. He'd certainly be one of the biggest centres running around in Jim Beam Cup competition. That's the Windsor coach, Trent Rosa. Just his second year in charge at the Western Sydney-based club. And there is an awful mistake by the man I was talking about earlier, Jason Chan. So Mounties from Moston. And now Chandler of Lye. We talked about his fleet footwork earlier. Have a look at this. Wouldn't be out of place in a Fred Astaire Classic, would he, Peter? He's dancing and prancing.
Very elusive little player, and geez, he's tough too.
Dalton. Oh, great ball. And Mounties are going to come up with a try that might seal this win. It's been called back.
Holy Durley forward pass there in that last play.
3 tackles. Move.
36.5 minutes gone.
Hold here.
Obviously, it is very much field goal time. So Mounties, rather Windsor, in possession at the present time, would be looking for a good set with a good kick chase to build pressure.
Both sevens have got a great drop kick too. Either of those could kick a 30-40 metre drop goal without a problem, being Drew Dalton and Tricky Trindle.
Here's Trindle now from 40 out. Looks good off the boot. He's got it. Well, you are a genius, Mullholhand. You are a genius. And so is Trindle. 40 out. Never looked like missing.
I thought he was looking for a 40-20 there. I didn't realise it was going to be the drop goal. Well done, Tricky, but that's what he does. He's just a perfect little player that in this competition is just far superior to most of his opposition.
That was a different kick-off from Drew Dalton. Ball stood up. Gave them a chance of getting possession. And Windsor leading by 1. Can they hang on? Daniel King on the run around. Takes a hit up, tackled on his own 20. So Mounties have got to get off their line and muscle up in defence and try and force an error. The time is getting away from them to respond to that magnificent field goal from Trindle. Russell, he'll go the short side with Chanel Hamono. Tackled by Blake Champion. Also Justin Cavoni. And Matt McConnell. All the back rowers in there. Oh, Russell it was. Great ball. Tito Niamata. The big front rowers on the surge. Good last line of defence. Farah doing a wonderful job to get back there. And he's been penalised for hanging on too long.
How well is Ryan Russell playing? And a great support there from Tito Niamata too. And 10 minutes to the bin here for the Mounties player for pushing him down. Who was it? The hooker Farah has just gone. I honestly think this has been milked beautifully by Tito Niamata. You watch this now. I just don't think there was anything in that. He's just fallen to the ground. I think the referee's been sucked in. But again, well done to Tito Niamata. Bad luck to Anthony Farah. But a great break from the number 9 from the Windsor side, Ryan Russell. And here we got a shot at goal, which will probably seal the match for the Windsor Wolves.
You said it all. Niamata definitely getting away with a dive for mine. There's the extra. 2 points by virtue of the goal. 33-30. It's an odd scoreline. You'd have to think that's the game gone unless Mounties are going to come up with the football right now. Shorter kick off from Drew Dalton this time. But Windsor has it through Jason Chan. On the 40-metre line, leading by 3. This is up Penatani. He gets to his feet slowly. They'll obviously soak up as much time as they can in everything that they do. Oh, Wrigley pops one out the back. And they keep it going through Barlow. Gee, I'm not sure about a pass like that at this stage of the game.
I think Trent Rosa might have a few words to say. Great work again from Ryan Russell there at a dummy half, just taking the yards that are in offer and settling things down.
Wrigley plays it. Now Trindle to the line, wants to play football. Onto the chest of Stewart, and now it's Hopkins, yes! Second try to Lee Hopkins of the afternoon, that wraps it up. Rosa is delighted, the coach. What more can be said? An amazing game, really. 37-30, full time.
Yellow Express replay. Watch what the long ball does here. It's just a beautiful little long pass there from Craig Trindle once again, the maestro. Dummies to go himself. Long pass, but what it does, it stretches that defence, and Ben Stewart, presence of mind to bring the ball straight back into Lee Hopkins, who was trailing on the inside. Chenrith Lai was no hope, 3 metres out to pull Lee Hopkins back against the grain. Well done to the Windsor side and right to the final bell. Let's see Lee Hopkins having a shot at goal here. This will be very interesting in itself.
I'm not aware of his credentials in this regard. And
I think that'll be his first and last shot.
Pushes it away to the left. Well, it was an intriguing battle. Look, there were plenty of mistakes, but there was some rugged defence and some great tries scored. 37-30 tries to Stewart, Hopkins 2, Russell 2, Hamono, Trindle 6 from 6, Hopkins none from 1. You can see the score summary for the Mounties. Dargan getting 2 tries, Dalton 5 from 7 with the boot. Here's Ian.
Well, Lee, well done. You asked the team at halftime how tough they were, and it turns out they're a pretty tough unit.
Yeah, Mounties asked us some questions in that first half, and I don't think, as a group, we knew we didn't respond to them very well. We actually took a bit of the soft option in that respect. So we got together at halftime. We asked ourselves how tough we were actually going to be in this second half, and tough football sides come back from 26-12 down. So
absolutely, you definitely made a statement for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I think we're just happy going along as Windsor at the moment. We're still not too fussed about what everyone else is doing. We're just happy to make sure we play our best week in, week out. And the good thing is, we played some pretty good footy in the second half. We had a lot of ball in the second half. Probably didn't come up with what we needed to at times, but there's always improvement.
Fantastic. Now, and you're looking forward to big Wendell Sailor coming up to Windsor next week.
Yeah, I haven't. It's been a while since I played against Big Del, so it'd be good to say hello and see how he's going. It's good to have him back in rugby league.
Good on you, mate. Well done.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, let's take a look at the results of other Jim Beam Cup matches this weekend. Shell Harbour, big winners over the WA Reds. Cabramatta too strong for Southern Sydney. Chester Hill defeating Wentworthville. The Bulls too strong for Erina. And Campbelltown defeating Belrose 32-26. That's a good win for Campbelltown.
Now look at the table now after 9 rounds. You can see the top 5 are just about getting that clear break, but again, Chester Hill came up and won a match against a highly Wentworthville, who should be a better side than what they are at the moment. Next week, Saturday, May 31st, Belrose versus the Reds, Southern Sydney versus Chester Hill, Windsor versus Shell Harbour. That'll be a great one. Wendell Sailor out at Windsor next week at 5 p.m. at the Windsor Sports Complex.
Indeed. And over the page, the Bulls and Campbelltown to do battle at the Crest Stadium, 7:30 on Saturday. Sunday, Wentworthville and Cabramatta and Mounties and Erina. 2:30 kick-off for the second game, 1:30 kick-off for the first match. Now, as promised, highlights in the New South Wales Cup game between Balmain Ryde and Newtown played on the weekend at Leichhardt Oval, and Newtown proving too strong in this game.
They should do too. Balmain Ryde have been struggling. They haven't got a bad side there either, but you're looking through the Newtown side. It's the feeder club for Eastern Suburbs, or the Roosters, or whatever we want to say these days. I'm that far behind, it's not funny. You can see the side here now, and again at Leichhardt Oval, strong match there, strong performance, big crowd here, and that was the young brother of Israel Folau, Tavita Folau, scoring that try for the Newtown side. Balmain itself didn't give up. There's 2 or 3 players in there that Luke Harlan has got a lot of first-grade experience in the side. Try here too that was gone missing. I'm not sure that the video referee wouldn't have ruled against that one. But Newtown again, their position on the ladder is very, very ominous here. Mickey Payer scoring a very, very soft try there, 5 metres from the line. Lukey Gordon very happy about that result. Balmain themselves not very happy about the try that was scored.
Newtown having a good season in the New South Wales Cup. Good halves combination of Millwood and Luke Brannigan. The second part of round 9, the split round, Manly too good for Auckland. Newtown defeating Balmain Ryde, as we've said, and Wentworthville 32, Western Suburbs 28.
The table here is a little bit clear too. The top 4 sides, probably the most dominant sides. You see North Sydney, Wentworthville, Newtown and Manly. And again, I think that gives us a bit of an indication that sides that are working with first grade teams, NRL teams, have been the strong ones. Next Saturday, May 31, North Sydney versus my team, the Dogs at North Oval, Auckland versus Western Suburbs, and Central Coast versus Cronulla at Morriebreen Oval at 1:30 p.m. And also on Saturday, Balmain Ryde versus Windsor at Leichhardt Oval, 3 p.m. Central Newcastle versus Manly at Energy Australia. And on Sunday, Wentworthville versus Newtown. That'll be a great match in itself. 3 o'clock kickoff at Ringrose Park. round 10 next week. Jim Beam Cup, Wednesday, June 4th, 5 p.m, Fox Sports 2, Wenty versus Cabramatta. Join us then.
Well, victory number 8 of 2008 for the Windsor Wolves, and they continue to lead the Jim Beam Cup competition at the completion of 9 rounds. A fairly scrappy game here on occasions, but we do thank you very much for joining us on the New South Wales Rugby League show, and we will see you again next week. Bye for now. Now Drew Dalton, a high kick to the northwestern corner. Good contest, and this will be a try to Mounties. Here's Drew Dalton. Does he go for the kick? No, it's onto the chest of the lock plate champion, and he scores. Across they come from Harden. Hitting the hole is Hopkins. He's going to get there and score 4 points right before the break. Trindle to the line, wants to play football. Onto the chest of Stewart, and now it's Hopkins, yes!
The horse is bolted. Everybody knows